100% I am not on Luke's side.
Thank God.
For several reasons. Let's start first and foremost. This poster that I have behind me.
Yes.
Luke is wearing this interview outfit again. He is purposely looking exactly like Tintin, but now he's got this like Gen Z mini mullet that they're all doing.
Fuck, so gross.
First of all,
yuck.
He's not Gen Z. He's not even Robert Pattinson Gen Z. He's in his 30s. No, stop it.
Old.
2, then he's talking to Jesse about it. He's talking to Jesse. And he's like, yeah, there's no intimacy. And Jesse's like, yeah, I wish I really would have addressed it rather than getting resentful. Fuck you, Jesse. Luke, fuck you. Luke's like, yeah, I've been trying to get her to go out so that I could go out. I went out last night. You
really?
have, what is the baby, like 2-3 months old at this point?
Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 2 Queens, 1 Screen. I'm Jen.
I'm Keeley.
And we have so many fun things to talk about today. I already ran through all of this with Keeley. I have caught up on a lot of shows. I started the new ones, but Keeley hasn't watched all the same things. I really am enjoying Real Housewives of Rhode Island, although I can't tell anyone apart. And I didn't realize that Dolores was not Dolores. It was just a woman who looks exactly like her, even though they're not related.
Yeah.
Then that lady is like distantly related to her husband.
Oh my God.
So I was like, it's an incestuous group. It actually is kind of technically. Because she did an Ancestry.com. But they've been together a long time. It's whatever.
Okay. And
then I'm also watching Ladies of London. And that one I would really like. The Housewives of Rhode Island, I like because it is such a small group. And a lot of these ladies have known each other since high school. So I'm hoping they're going to be able to avoid some of the Salt Lake online garbage bullshit that has ruined the show. I'm hoping. That's what I think. And then Ladies of London, I'm on episode 4 of, and it is so kooky and so different. And the range of these women and where they're coming from is fantastic. But then also there's weird drama from the very beginning.
Okay.
And there's someone that quits the show in episode 1 or 2.
Okay. And just to be clear, this is the newest season 4, because I had to ask you, because I went to watch it and I got confused, and because it says the new reign, I think, Ladies of London New Reign. And so I was just like, I didn't know there was more than one season. So
yeah, this season it's like they restarted.
Okay,
because,
good.
What was it, Caroline, who then went to Dubai? She was in the first one, and that one I liked. But this one, it's all new people. It's very fun and fresh, and the people are nutty. And there's a lot of U.S. like expats that are in it, which I also am enjoying.
Awesome.
So it's fun. So things to watch. But we wanted to start with other stuff first.
Yes.
You go.
Well, we watch Boat Show, which means Below Deck, Down Under. And I had asked if you were caught up, and you said no, you were a couple behind. But I think in general, I wanted to talk to you about something, because I think in general we can talk about it, and you don't have to watch the episode that I'm talking about. Maybe I don't remember what episode it is, but I wanted to ask you something and ask your opinion, because I think it's a really good debate. Because I watched it twice and I just got so heated and like hot under the skin about it. So Chef Ben and Ellie, his sous chef, the blonde, God, is she Ukrainian or something? Anyway, I can't remember. She's beautiful. Albanian.
She's really pretty.
Yes. Anyway, and so, they have their little whatever, back and forth. But one specific episode, she is very upset that Chef Ben calls her these pet names like darling, sweetheart, baby,
honey.
Those are the only one. Honey. I can't, anyway. So he calls her these pet names while he's talking. And again, he does call the rest of the staff, minus Jason, sweetheart, darling. They even go to a clip where he calls Joao sweetheart, maybe, or darling. And that's just how Ben talks.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is Ellie gets really upset about it and has boundaries with it and says it's really uncomfortable for me. I don't like it. I feel like you're talking down to me and it's really dismissive and I don't like it. And she brought it to Jason. Jason said, just tell him, don't do that. I'm trying to set boundaries. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Please don't do it. She brings it to Chef Ben and he says, oh, I'm sorry. I do that. I do that with everybody. I'll try really hard not to do that with you. And my issue is it has kind of spread into this disease on the boat, meaning like Joao is pissing me off because he calls me sweetheart and darling. Why is her knickers in a twist when he says it to me? She should just basically shut the fuck up and deal with it because that's how Ben talks. That really, really bothers me because if it was turned around and Ellie is calling a man baby, sweetheart, honey, the man is not going to put up with that. The man's going to go, I'm not your baby and I'm not your sweetheart. Don't call that. Don't say that. Call me my name. And it's very a double standard and it really bothers me a lot. And I wanted to know what you thought about it, that you're like, oh, that's Ben. It's not a big deal.
Well, I have a lot of it. No, I'm thrilled that you're talking about this. I have so many opinions on this and from a couple different perspectives. One, because I am a chef. That is like, I have gone to school. I have worked in professional kitchens. I have also worked in a professional British kitchen. Fun fact. And the owner was also kind of a misogynist, but that's its own issue. The owner wasn't in the kitchen as really much at all. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
However, working kitchens forever, one of the things is Joao's argument is this is a cultural thing for him, right? And it is. That exists. It's how he interacts with the world. It's kind of ingrained in him. 100%. I can see that argument. And I'm not saying that it's not valid. However, Ellie has said, I'm feeling disrespected. I'm feeling uncomfortable. If it's not like he's saying something for religious reasons, I think he is absolutely of a culture that he could take that note and shift it. He's worked in these very intense, very high level professional kitchens. He could be going, yes, chef, or he could, there are situations where you're having those conversations in a much more professional way. Yes. Even though she's not a chef, like you can heard, there are ways to speak professionally in a kitchen where it is very intense, very fast paced, that you can rein that in. Unfortunately, working in kitchens, and I've worked in restaurants as well, working in kitchens, because it's so intense and because it's so fast paced, and it's also the service industry, it gets really loosey-goosey. And back when I was working as a waitress, as a server at a restaurant, but like we were having to, you work with the kitchen the whole time. And the guys on the line, it was just understood. It wasn't even questioned. They get really handsy. They would walk past you with tight quarters. Their hands are on their hips. They're squeezing somebody's butt, touching somebody's thigh, putting their arm against your boob. And it's like a funny joke. And that's kind of like how you have to deal. Because the second that you are a woman who throws a fit, guess who's not getting their fucking salads out on time? Guess who's getting their stuff not the way that they need it to be? Guess who's getting pushed back when you have a special request that you need to make?
Right.
So it gets made very hard for you. I have, and I'm very proud of this. So you either accept them being super handsy with you or you have a bad relationship with them.
Yeah.
And I figured out very quickly, and this is not like to toot my own horn, but I still am, but definitely then at like early 20s, super cute. I think it was like a little thing. So I needed to be friendly and have a good rapport while also negating any sexual feminine energy from myself. Like I needed to just evaporate that. So I would refill I'd be like, did you need another Coke? Do you want me to refill your soda? Like, what do you want? But, or like if I had a special request, when I would do that, I would use what I called animal hands. So I would say, "Oh, Gustavo, I need most hamburguesa, por favor." And I would talk like that to them while making animals out of my hands. Look at, he's got eyebrows. And this is, I would say, "Hey, I need that side of mayonnaise, please. Please recook the steak. It was supposed to be medium." I guess kind of Pee Wee Herman-ish. And that's how I interacted in the kitchen, because I had to adjust myself to function in that. So is it fair? Absolutely not. That's fucking weird. But
It's a bigger issue that you as a woman have to do that to your professional and your life. You have to do something completely different because you're a woman, where the men are the ones that need to change, not you. You don't need to change because you have boobs and a vagina, right? They need to change their behavior. And that's what I was going to say. They take it out on Ellie and they make it, they turn it around and twist it into, now Ellie's the problem. Ellie is this, Ellie is that, when all she said was, "You're making me uncomfortable."
100%.
And these men cannot handle it, and they get mad and turn it around on her. And that's what really gets me going is, we as women cannot catch a break. You have to change your entire identity and make animal hands and talk like a toddler to these men so they don't sexually harass you and molest you. Like, that's a joke. That's a fucking joke. Because, if it was all men in the kitchen, they would not be sexually molesting each other in the kitchen, right? Because
not
they're
in
men.
That way. No.
No.
Yeah, no, there's, and I understand that it's ingrained in Ben. Ben's older than I am. The way that he chats up everyone, it's going to be a habit that he has to break, right?
Yeah.
God, and not to bring like another issue into this, but I think it would be very similar to like when someone says, "Hey, my pronouns are different."
Yeah.
Or like, "I have a dead name. This is my name. I want you." And it's
Right.
like, okay, you might mess up a few times. And when you mess up, you say,
Right.
"Oh, sorry." And then you correct yourself and you move on. And that's all Ben has to do. "Hey, love, I'm sorry. Ellie, would you please take this?"
Yes.
"Sweetie baby, will you take that?" "Sorry, will you take this?" And that's all you have to do. You just have to catch yourself. That's all she's asking for. It's difficult because that specific career is very thought of as like, it's super intense. He's doing it on a luxury yacht, so the stakes are higher. The quality is supposed to be higher. And it's also so intense and so fast paced, right?
Well, and it's close quarters, right? It's a small room.
And it's super close quarters.
Right.
So like, I see where that's going to be a difficult thing for him to do. But turning Ellie into the problem is not correct. I didn't see Ellie confront him about it. I think I saw her talk to Joao about it. And Joao was like, "He calls me baby."
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I'm not bothered by it. And it's like, yeah, because there's a power imbalance there. So come on. He had sent her a DM, like shooting a shot. So she wants it to remain very professional.
Yeah.
And she has come in there and worked her ass off.
Yeah.
Ellie has come in there and been clutch and doing exactly what she needs to do above and beyond. I did just watch them get into the argument where she's like, "You are taking advantage of me. Like, you let me go wash and clean for hours while you went and you took a swim. You went and took a bath or something like that." And she's like, "I didn't really appreciate that." I think that Ellie is being professional. And I think that Ellie is not being appreciated for the work that she's doing. And I did not like Ellie last season. I saw Ellie came back and I rolled my eyes. But I'm on her side totally for this.
Okay.
So that's an interesting, I like that.
Right.
I do have big feelings. And I love getting to bust out animal hands. Usually, and you know what? I usually use them? Toddlers.
Yes, 100%.
Little babies love animal hands.
Yeah.
And then they try and make them and it's fun. And so like, I like doing it. It did come from a technique that I used on the kitchen staff at the Outback Steakhouse in Vienna, Virginia.
It's completely unacceptable. Nope. You shouldn't have had to do that.
All right. Well, speaking
Okay.
of shitty men.
Oh, speaking of shitty men, we
Ooh.
want to... Ooh, that was a good segue. We want to talk more about the doctor from Hawaii who tried to kill his wife on a hike. So last week, he was on the stand and he was being questioned by his attorney, which is called a direct examination, which I was thinking about it on the way home for this recording. And as I watched it a couple of times, and I watched a clip of a body language expert go over both his testimony and his wife's testimony. Anyway, which was very, very good. Anyway, so last week he was just being questioned by his attorney, and his attorney did a lot of what we call leading, which means basically telling them what to say before they say it, and you're not allowed to do that. Like for instance, when he would ask him, okay, tell me what happened with the rock, or tell me when you were at the top and, Ariel got mad at you, or right, he would say, tell me about such an instance. And the doctor, his client, would start to say the story, get flustered, and in the middle, he would lead and say, well, you picked up the rock, right? Or you grabbed her, right? Right? When the person testifying was not saying, I picked up the rock and I grabbed her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was telling him what to say in his testimony, and he was doing a lot of leading. So the defendant was very Ted Bundy, if I can really go that far. And I'll explain a little bit later, but he was very, rehearsed with his answers, but he did a lot of ums and ahs. And I think this last week I said you could tell when he was lying and you could tell when he was telling the truth when he was being questioned by his attorney. And we hadn't got to the part where the state was going to come and what's called cross-examination, which means question him about things that he had done, not saying, will you tell me the story? The state then comes and says, well, we have this. You looked up dangerous and difficult and specific heights, on Hawaii, on the different islands. Why did you do that? Like, they question him specifically on things he had done, which he did do.
Mm-hmm.
He looked up hikes that had the word danger and dangerous in them. He looked up their finances, basically to say that it was too expensive for him to divorce her. And he would lose all of the money that she had in her retirement was not going to go to him. So she had like $500,000 in retirement, and he only had less than $10,000 in retirement. So if he divorced her, he was not getting any of this money. If she's dead, he's going to get this money. So he had all of these things that he was doing before the hike, before he tried to kill her, that showed that there was intent. So the state was asking him, well, what'd you do that for? And he would hem and haw, and he would be like, well, I don't remember. I don't recall doing that. There was at one point where they showed him the metadata from his computer at his desk, his laptop at home, his iPhone. They would show him the metadata and say, on this date, at this time, on this computer, you search engined the most dangerous hike in Maui, the most dangerous hike in Oahu. Do you see that? Yeah, I see that. Why did you do that? Well, I don't know that I did that, would be his answer. And they said, excuse me? And he would say, your exhibit, your photo of that metadata says it was accessed. It doesn't say it was accessed by my name. Mm-hmm. And he was very nitpicky about those things. He would say, that report says accessed. How do I know that I did that? You don't know that I did that. And you're like, fuck, dude. Or they would call him out and he would say, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember looking up her finances. Why would I look up our finances? And the state would say, because you would find out it was too expensive to divorce her. Nope, that's not real. It was very good cross-examination. However, he was very Ted Bundy in the way he would say. So I don't know if a lot of people remember, Ted Bundy was his own attorney. He went to law school for a little while, fired his attorney, his public defender, and his private attorney, but the court made them stay just in case he had any questions. But he would get on the stand, they would ask him a question, and his answer would be, "You're not asking it properly. That's not the way to do that." And this man actually said these things and was like, "That's not the question you want to ask me, right? And you're like, fuck, dude." Or it gives me chills just saying that, just talking about it gives me chills. He would
Feeling
respond.
that confident.
He would
Jesus
respond to the
Christ.
state and say, "That's not how you ask that question." And you're like, you are joking. He was very arrogant, had all of this confidence, very controlling, tried to control the narrative with the state, which is what you expect him to do. The state would ask him, "Your wife testified and said you demanded sex, however much, and you wanted it, however, the way that you wanted it. Why would you do that?" And he would say, "That's wrong. I never did that." "Well, why would your wife testify that you did?" He actually looked up before the hike. He looked up how to, on his computer, and I think I brought it up a little bit last week, but basically turn himself into a victim. Right when his wife cheated on him and is going to claim that there's some sort of domestic controlling behavior in the home, he looked up how to turn that into his favor and turn himself into the victim on his computer. It was very, very intense and very creepy. And he had the responses of, "That says accessed. That doesn't say that I did it. There's no print that I did that. Yeah, that was at my desktop. Anybody could have logged in on my desktop. Yeah, that it was my iPad at home. There's other people in my home. I never did that." It is very creepy, very, very creepy to watch this man talk. But the body language expert was so interesting because he would show clips, and I learned something really new. He would show clips of the defendant testifying about, say, the incident trying to hit her with the rock and him claiming she tried to kill him. And then they would show a clip of her testifying about her husband trying to kill her and hitting her getting hit in the head with a rock. And he would say, she's testifying. We'll start with her first. She was testifying. She used a lot of hand movements like I am when I'm talking. Her hand movements were very low. And when your hand movements are low, you're confident in what you're saying. You're comfortable in what you're saying and how you're trying to explain it. And she was also illustrative with her hands, meaning, this is for an instance. This is not what she did or said, but for an instance, when she was talking about being hit with the rock, she would hold her hands in the position up top, like she's holding a rock, being illustrative, pretending like she's holding a rock. It's an imaginary rock. And she would say, "And he's hitting me with the rock." And he would stop the video and saying, "Okay, she's illustrating and speaking at the same time, and her words are landing and stopping on specific words. He's hitting me with the rock," right? The words are coming out the same movement as her hands are. They would cut to the defendant talking about it, and he was trying to do that. Say they're talking about the rock issue. His hands were all over the place. They were very high, and they were not hitting when he would talk about what he was doing. He was not landing and stopping on the words he should be. Like, she was hitting me with the rock and the rock, and she was banging, and it was all over the place, and the rock was this and that. His actions and his words didn't mesh and weren't on time like hers were, showing deception, showing the fact that he's trying to come up with a lie while he's speaking it. And his actions in his statement, his physical did not match what his words were saying. When someone is telling the truth, they're going to match what they're saying. Then his attorney would have to lead him into, "But she was grabbing your testicles." Yeah, I forgot that. She grabbed my testicles. Okay, what? And so it was really interesting. We all know he's lying, but this body language expert, I just learned that she was doing it right? And she was landing on the right words, or she would close her eyes while she was speaking, and he would stop the video and say, she's reliving it right now. That's why she's closing her eyes, because she can see it. She can see like she's in that moment. She's back on that cliff edge and she's back on the ground and he's hitting her. And he goes, that's what she's doing right now. That's why she's closing her eyes. And her hands are really low when she's talking. And she's trying to control herself and think about what she's saying. She's not lying, but she's thinking about it and she's reliving the whole thing, which is really traumatic for someone. So it was so interesting to have that. But the jury has been out for almost all day, like 8 hours right now, with their trying to decide a verdict. So we're on verdict watch right now, but praise be to God that they come back with guilty. It should be guilty, but there's a lot of stuff to go over, right, and look at and talk about. And there's 12 people, 13 people in there that you have to, decide with.
Do you know what the charge is? Like, is it like murder? Like,
yeah, there's attempted murder. I think there was 3. I can't remember. Attempted murder, something else. I don't remember what they were. But yeah, he's just very creepy to watch. And I just don't know how being in a room with someone that controlling is, I don't know how she did that for so long or what she really saw in him. He must be, super charismatic and I don't know, pulling someone into them. But when he spoke, it was red flags just flying all over the place. And even about things that we know he wasn't lying about, right? His work or, his son from another marriage or where he'd lived or his mom and dad or something like that. It was still red flags. You're just like, there's something wrong with this guy. So it's just really good.
I'm interested to see how this all plays out. I purposely, the second that something would pop up and I would flip past, it was like, Keely's going to tell me. Keely's going to tell me all about this.
It was so good. It was so good. The cross-examination was so good. They get to go back to redirect and recross, right? Go back and forth, and clean up any loose ends with his testimony or a question that he had or something that he said. But it just incredible. All of the things that he did prior to taking her on that hike it definitely shows intent to kill her and not divorce her. Purposefully not divorce her, right? We all say, why don't you just divorce her and move on? He full on looked up their finances and the retirement.
Was going to, and then decided not to.
Yeah. And then he told her to go get more life insurance before the hike. They had life insurance. They had a bulk of it. He told her to go get more. Stop. Come on, dude. Yeah.
I think there's like a little bit of life insurance for me that we get through Matt's company, but then Matt purposely put more on himself just in case like something ever happens, then I'll be able to have like a cushion of like resetting.
Yeah.
That's the best household.
No, I get that.
But yeah, I guess if Matt ever comes to me and is like, Jen, we should really with your life insurance, then I'll know immediately who's going to murder me.
Like I said last week, I gave that specific hike a goog. I looked it up. And I said, if Steve looked at me and goes, hey, let's go on this hike right here, and it says the most dangerous hike in Maui, I'm going to be like, the fuck you want to take me there for? It's, are you serious? Hello?
One time, we used to live in Northern Virginia, right next to DC. And there's this area called Great Falls. It's really beautiful forest. And it's the river that runs through it has these incredible waterfalls. And one side is Virginia and the other side is Maryland. And when the boys were little, they were probably 4. I had taken them to the Virginia side a few times. And I had gotten like the part. And we had done the Virginia side a few times. And then I decided to do the Maryland side. And the Virginia side is you go through the woods. There's cute little paths through the woods. There's an old house that was there. There's like old, like what had been farmland for people that they go and picnic, and big, beautiful trees. It's gorgeous. Big green lawns. Very nice. But pretty flat terrain. And then I decided to do the Maryland side just kind of on a whim. And so we went over the bridge going on the Maryland side. and I see a thing called the Billy Goat Trail, and I've got 2 4-year-olds, but I'm trying to get their energy out. I was like, Billy Goat, like Billy Goat's Cross. That's so cute. Let's go try that one. Didn't really read the sign beyond that. And we walked for 3 hours.
Oh, God.
I got to a point, it was actually probably closer to it, like total. About an hour and a half in, we get to a part that's like extra dangerous, walking across sheer rock at this point.
Oh.
And it's already been really rocky and rugged the entire time. And I'm like, when is this thing going to loop around? And it doesn't. And I took these 2 4-year-olds on this. We get back and I look at the sign and it's like, danger, only go on this if you're an expert hiker. There's sheer rock face that you have to traverse. And it's, people often will get stuck and need to call for help. Here's the number. Take a photo of this so you can call for help. And I was like,
oh my God,
I'm such a terrible, such a bad mom. So now I do a lot of research about the hikes that we go on before. Luckily, Matt doesn't. So if I decide to murder him,
nice,
I could take him on that Maui one.
Whoops. Wow.
But I think we all learned, even if you're super prepared, including like a vial of knockout juice and a syringe and a lava rock, you're still not going to kill anybody with bail.
God, no, right?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to murder my husband.
And speaking of murdering people, can we talk about our favorite person that we all want to murder, Janet? Janet from The Valley. The Valley just came out.
I'm excited that The Valley is back. I think it's going to get good. I'm a little ho-hum about the first episode, but the first episode's hard, right? Because they have to do a lot of reintroducing what's going on, and there's a lot of people that they have to like go, and by the way, we're bringing in new people, and we're going to show you who's on what terms with who. There was a lot of information they needed to catch us up. But here's something that I saw before the season started, and I think you saw the same thing.
I did.
And that was Janet. And we left last season just really hating on Janet. And Janet is doing the podcast circuit, which, girl, you are welcome. Come on, we will chat with you. We'll chat with anybody. Even if maybe you can change my mind. But I think you suck. And I would love for you to teach me differently. But seeing her on there, she started talking about how her and Jason's political affiliations are why people are so tough on her and she leaves such a bad taste in everyone's mouth is because they really believe in social justice and they're very vocal about their values and what they see as injustice in our system and that sort of thing.
No, Janet, come to the front. No.
And this is very similar to the Amanda bullshit, which I don't know where Amanda goes politically. I frankly don't care. But I feel like Janet is a millennial. And also, I went to the Pew Research Center, not physically. I did it online. You can check my metadata. And I took a survey to see, like, where do I fall on the spectrum politically? And I am of the progressive left, which is 6% of our nation. And it's like, I don't know, where are you? This is right for me, but it looks left on the screen. I don't know how it looks. Anyway, I'm all the way at the end with my beliefs based on the survey or the questionnaire that I took for Pew Research. And I don't claim her within my group if she's part of that, which she's saying that she is. Janet, you can believe all of these things, but also your husband works fighting like labor laws, like you're working for corporations to fight their workers getting what's due to them in many circumstances.
Yeah.
So and then also, no, like that is not why we don't like Janet. We don't like Janet because she's like, I'm just outspoken about my beliefs. It's like, no, it's because you won't shut the fuck up about things that are not your business and you're creating an issue where there isn't one.
Yep.
I think she's different than Heather. I think she's different than Kyle. I don't think she's self-producing.
No.
I think she's doing kind of what Kyle's doing. We'll get to it in a second about Beverly Hills. But where she's like retroactively trying to build up a case about why she is the victim or in the right and justified to behave the way that she has after the fact.
Yes.
Okay. Also, how do you feel about it?
We hate her. I hate her. Hate her.
She's good for the show, though.
I want her to
enjoy her on the
wear
show.
another color other than brown or some sort of dark color. I don't know. I just don't like her. And egomania that goes into the fact that you're going to bring up politics to try and defend yourself is baffling. Baffling to me. She could have picked anything to talk about. Anything.
That was relevant to what for her to go to, like, I believe in social justice. That is not a shield for you being an asshole to Kristen.
No.
That is not a shield for you. Like, you went too far. You accused him of sexual assault, which, oh my God, we're not going to get into this.
No, we're not going to do that again, but yes.
We're not going to do it again. He could totally suck. She's going outside of her lane by bringing it up again and again, which she did this season already. Already we are she's a victim. Yep. He's sexually assaulting people. Like, she's bringing that up again after I don't even like him for a whole bunch of reasons, Danny. For a whole bunch of reasons, I'm not a fan of Danny. But then she's going to try and, like, stir that shit up again, to protect herself from and deflect from any of her bad behavior. Yeah. I don't understand why Kristen's still mad at me. Nia's blocked me on everything. I can't believe it.
And Brittany didn't do anything. Brittany didn't say, this is my house. We don't talk like that. You can leave.
Yeah.
Okay. P.S. Brittany is still a bad friend. Still a bad friend.
Yes.
And I don't know why they put up with it, but I'm not a fan of Brittany. It is what it is, but I don't watch her with, happy eyes. I watch her with, I'm annoyed at you. Not as annoyed as Janet, but she gets away with, when they're at the Mexican restaurant and they confront her and say, why didn't you say anything to Kristen? And she gets away with it and says, well, I was just in shock too.
I was flabbergasted.
That's not an answer. Brittany.
No, but also the onslaught of, they showed all of Janet's texts
that
she sent her in an onslaught all over the screen. And she's like, and my child.
Shut up.
She's again, like, she's trying to build her case. Like, and my baby was there. Everyone's babies were there.
Everyone's baby was there, bitch.
I don't believe that Kristen went as totally nuts as Janet's, like, pretending that she was verbally accosted. I think Kristen's like, the fuck? What are you doing here? She's not supposed to be here. You told me she wasn't. What is this? That's what I believe. And that's in my imagination. That's what I don't think
Kristen went full Kristen either. Kristen could have gone full Vanderpump Kristen on her.
She doesn't have the energy to do that right now.
And she absolutely did not, because she's like, I'm done. I don't have those kind of people in my life. Why is Janet still here? But I also liked Lala when they were shopping in the baby store, looked at Janet and goes, why didn't you just say, I'm sorry for what I said. It was probably a little bit too far. Why can't you just say that? Janet will never say that, but I like Lala saying that out loud.
Janet's direct. I mean, not Janet. Lala's direct. And what I like about Lala is she's like, listen, I've been in mom mode for 2 years. I would like to go hang out with everybody and be social.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up for me. Like, I want to be amongst people. So I like Lala in her own way, trying to pretend to be a peacekeeper in this.
Yeah.
And it's good advice.
We'll see. 100%. I'm glad that she said that. At least she said it. We didn't get any sort of answer, just some stupid stoic look from Janet as usual.
Janet's not going to admit she was wrong. Janet's going to go, social justice says that I'm right. I'm a woman and therefore I understand the oppressed. And you're like, Janet?
No, you don't.
You're not, no, you don't speak for everyone.
Right.
You are not our pillar of truth and justice.
Right.
Like, you don't get to self-appoint that.
Yeah. You don't get to start saying you were bullied. Right. It's like when I was in the 7th grade and I was bullied. No, you're 40. Go to therapy and get over it. Shut the fuck up. So
well, here's the other thing. Janet, and I feel the same way about Brittany. And this is a general thing that happens. It's a cliche. because it's true and it happens. People who start to do their healing, their healing journeys, they start to go to therapy, and I've done it myself, and it's like, oh, I suddenly see you become more aware of the dysfunction, and you can see more of the sources of the dysfunction, and you can see the toxic behavior. And then you start to go, oh, hey, don't do that because blah, blah, blah. You're saying that from your point of reference, but you have this new knowledge that you want to share with everyone. And you think that that is like, oh, I've corrected what I didn't see it. I have a misalignment. Now I'm all fixed. And the truth is that we're not fixed. You're continuing to learn. You are continuing to grow for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
And while you might have a more informed perspective, and while you can give people, we'll get about this with Kyle, you can say like, hey, I have an observation here. I'm seeing something here. You don't get to be the judge of everyone else's experience on things. And because you're starting to heal, that feeling good makes you feel like you just suddenly get all of it. But you don't. But you don't know that you don't know yet.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of goes through that at the beginning of therapy. And I think a lot of people go through that in the beginning of their divorces. Dorit's like, I found my voice and I'm going to be me and I'm real and I know what's right for me. And you're like, you don't right now because you are floundering and everything sucks and that's okay. But she doesn't. She's like, I just know that it feels better now. And I think that that means that everything's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a lot of crossover with my analysis. But yeah, I think that Janet feels very valid in everything, and it feels like she gets to dictate everything because she started therapy. She's like, I've done therapy and I'm doing work on myself. And maybe Janet is a little bit better in some area that she's done this work with a therapist, but also she's not there yet. But she's like, I'm doing work, so I'm better now. And you're like, just because you're going to therapy, I'm going to therapy. I am gossipy, petty, resentful mess still. But if you had asked me like a year ago when I was also in therapy, then I would have been like, I'm doing so good. I get it all now. And then you go through it longer and you're like, oh, there's like, we thought that we needed to go into the room and organize a little bit. And it's actually the entire house is hoarded. So we have a lot, but you don't know that. Yeah. You just got into the front room. That was a really long but fantastic analogy.
Thank you. Do you want to talk about she who should not be named is now a cast member? This cast has way too many fucking people. Can I just say that?
It's too many people. Lacey.
What do you think about Miss Lacey?
I want to know your perspective. So my perspective on it is I am a child of multiple divorces. And I've been with my parents who are with people and with new people. And it's actually, the whole thing sucks. The whole situation with Jesse and Michelle and now Lacey, who complicates things so fucking much. Jesse enables Lacey's insanity. And then for some reason, it makes Michelle look like the bitch.
Yep.
I am team Michelle all the way. I wish she wasn't like total. I wish Michelle wasn't team Janet, but I'm on team Michelle.
Yeah.
100%. Lacey is like, I want to talk about boundaries. Mom to mom. And it's like, you are brand new. I'm not talking to you about shit. Like, I don't know who you are. This is weird. No. And I think Michelle has every right to do that. And then you have Jesse talking about how he's like, listen, we're going to be a modern family now. We all need to be able to get together and ideally all have like joint Thanksgiving. My opinion is, no, you fucking don't. And you see him, they do like little cuts back to like Lacey going to the Zen party where she wasn't really invited and shouldn't be because there's filming and even production's getting pissed. And Jesse's like, it would just be easier if Michelle had talked to Lacey and then we could get this all. What about easier for Jesse if they made things smooth? But there's absolutely no reason for Lacey and Michelle to have a relationship. Yep. Michelle owes nothing to that. Wouldn't it be great if everyone got along and like they like, great, this is all wonderful. I love it. I'm so heated right now. Yeah, it would be amazing if that happens. But Michelle's not there yet. And Jesse's not coming to it. And Lacey's not coming to it with like good intentions really behind it. It's all selfish reasons.
Right.
And they're putting themselves on the pedestal of like, we just want harmony and we just want everyone to get along and we just want to communicate all the time so that we have great communication. Who would say something negative about wanting good, flowing, connected communication? Because you sound like an asshole if you're like, I don't want to have good communication.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, there's no reason for them to be communicating.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
and what
right.
pissed me off in the very beginning of the episode, when I think it was like Luke. Who was Luke? No, I think it was Luke and Jesse. I think it was Luke and Jesse.
Yeah, Luke and Jesse were talking.
And he's like, it's so cute because Lacey's daughter is around the same age as their daughter. And they like play like sisters. And now they're starting to fight like sisters. That isn't cute. That's not fun.
Nope.
Granted, you have two very
privileged
girls. Single, like, only children.
Only children, yeah.
I mean, no offense. It's just like, that's the dynamics that are happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course that there's going to be some struggle and some strife. And unless you have like really good structure of like how you are going to maintain discipline and all that parenting jazz, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
The second that one kid feels slighted to the other kid, and then the parents have to choose whose side they're going to be on, and then it feels like 3 against 1 on one of those kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awful. Sorry. Those are, I think, all of my feelings.
That's a lot to unpack there because, first of all, it doesn't work like that when you get divorced. Speaking of a person who is divorced and remarried, and my daughter was 7 when I got divorced, it doesn't work like that. You don't have a relationship with the other side's new partner. You don't have conversations. You never call them. That's not a thing. That's weird if you're doing that. We don't have holidays together. We don't have birthdays together. You do not have big moments in their life together. This is not a modern family. You are separated. You are divorced. You are 2 separate families now. And the other parent has the direction to go to the partner and go, you're not punishing, or you are punishing, or whatever the situation is, because the 2 parents of the child discuss that, and then they take it to the new person in the child's life, and you have those discussions. You do not. I never called my ex's girlfriend, now wife, ever once, and never talked to her. There's never a need ever to do that. And it's weird. And P.S., if Jesse didn't have a partner and Michelle had a partner, he would not be this gung-ho going, why aren't we having a discussion about father to father? He's going to father my child.
Remember Aaron? All the shit with Aaron? He was not cool either.
No. So it's a total double standard for him to be upset at Michelle when she wants nothing to do with this woman, rightfully so. That is normal for Michelle to go, fuck off. I have my own life and I'm not talking to her. There's no reason for us to talk at all.
Yeah. I blame Jesse. I 100% blame Jesse.
100%. And then third, my child is an only child. And when she got to be an adult, I did talk to her about kind of how she felt, because her dad got in a relationship with a woman who had 2 kids. So now she has siblings. And she admitted to me, she was like, Mom, I had only child syndrome. I was always like, the fuck are you asking them for? You need to be asking me. Like, she goes, it was not like you treated me and said, you know, I'm the end all be all of everything. But I was the only person in the house we would go shopping for. I was the only person in school. I was the only person having prom. I was whatever, right? Getting a car. I didn't have to compete with anybody. And now I have to compete with these 2 other kids. It sucked. And it took a long time to deal with. And she goes, and I still have, even as an adult, she's so funny, saying with my kids, right? I don't know what it's like for my kids, what they feel like to have siblings. Cause I look and go, the fuck that I'm not asking for your opinion, because it all should be me. It all should be me. because that's how I was raised. I was an only child. Everything was me. And she goes, so I think it's just funny, but it's also something that Jesse and Michelle need to take into consideration when introducing them to another child. She's going to have big feelings. I mean, she's still little, but she will have big feelings about, I'm an only child. I only have my parents. And who the fuck is this kid running around taking up all the time? Like, no.
Now you're a sister out of fucking nowhere.
Right.
Do you know, I mean, think about how much work everybody puts into like, oh, there's a new baby coming, and how much prep goes into preparing that kid for a new baby is coming.
Yep. Yeah.
Months and months.
Yeah.
So I come from I'm a child of divorce, and I have multiple half siblings from both directions. And then I have step siblings also. And my mom, my biological mother, when my dad remarried my stepmom, who later on adopted me, because things are whacked out, they were best friends for several years.
Weird.
What?
That's not normal. Yeah.
No, and it's because my stepmom wanted to make things easy. She had the same thought Jesse had.
Yeah.
Where she was like, things will be easier, it will be better, and we'll do stuff together, and it'll be great. And then I also won't mention when things are weird. There was like a people pleasingness to it that was super unhealthy. And I think my dad was like, just keep me out of it. And he went to work. But yeah, super, super whacked out. And I do not recommend. Give kids, if you're going to be divorced and have all the fallout and all the difficulty of being a child of divorced parents, give them the benefits of 2 Christmases. Give them the benefits of 2 birthdays.
Right.
You both households can do things separately. And you know what? Be decent. Don't be like screaming at each other in a parking lot, but like be cold. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to process and understand. My dad got divorced again when I was in high school, and my mom's like, we're best friends. Your dad and I are best friends. I'm like, that's so
not
contrary to what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
Because you're getting divorced and he's with another woman, and it's fucking weird. I will also say, as again, kids' perspective, I never felt like as a kid I'd have any say in my parents' relationships. I don't necessarily know that that's like cool, or I think it was never even like considered. I don't think I would never have considered whether or not that was acceptable. And with Dad and Des, they made sense like immediately. And I was like, even if I wasn't like cool and having a great time with like, now I have a new stepmom, it was never about like their relationship. Whereas my mom, when she started dating, I was like, what the this guy?
Yeah.
And not even that my mom was like a total prize, but like the guys that she was hanging out with were like garbage, like hot garbage. Like it didn't make sense. And I remember having very, very, very strong views about that. And like as the kid, when the kids are feeling weird about it, like is Michelle going to be able to say like her daughter's like, I don't want to be around that lady, she's weirding me out.
Yeah.
You don't get to be like, well, then you don't have to go, because they're going to have a 50-50 custody. Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just going to say that a lot of parents don't, especially my ex, they don't take into consideration their kids' feelings, wants, and it's all very, very selfish. Divorce is very, very selfish. And Jesse is very, very selfish when he expects Michelle to be in some threesome with him and Lacey, right? It's not going to work. That's not expected. He should be worried about his daughter. He should be worried about his daughter meeting Lacey, his daughter meeting Lacey's child. Like, those should be his concerns, and they're not. He's directing all of this stupid anger at Michelle, and he's just selfish. The whole thing is selfish. Where with like Steve and Bailey, Steve wanted me to move in the second we started talking, And I was like, I don't even want Bailey to know who you are. He was very upset at me for a really, really long time because I was like, no, she already has this fucked up other side with this woman he's been cheating on me with, one of the 4 that I know about, and she's got kids, and I don't want to throw her into a loop showing her you. I'm not saying I did anything right or perfect or whatever, but it was years before I let Bailey even know Steve was a human. Like that was even a thing because she was so messed up with what her dad was doing. And I was really trying to protect her. But parents don't do that enough and consider what their kids, how their kids are feeling, or if it's weird or they feel uncomfortable or they even don't want to be there, right?
No, and I think that everyone does this during a breakup. I mean, we watched Michelle do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're watching Brittany do it, which is like feeling like you need to. There is like this giant empty space now when you're not in a partnership anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that like the natural response is like, oh, I need to replace that. I need to get that fixed.
Yeah.
But you're not replacing it because whatever your partnership is next, it's not going to be the same.
Right.
And Jesse is like, in his mind, it's just going to be a dual partnership of the 2 women that provide all of the women's services of child rearing and romantic relationship between Michelle and Lacey. In my mind, that's like what I see him doing.
Yeah.
He even says, he's like, well, it would have been better for me. And it's like,
ew.
It's not about you.
Right. 100%.
Like, what are you offering that would make anyone want to make things better for you?
Yeah.
Jesse sucks. Jesse's entertaining though.
I loved when he told her, I love you. And she goes, thank you. Fuck. Thank you. I wanted her to just say, I know. She didn't say I love you back.
His match. Maybe that's a good, because he's still dating her for some reason and she's not.
I mean,
I don't know.
Not a fan. Can we talk about one last thing with the Valley that I think you and I are
There's a couple things I do need to cover. So
over.
Want to fight?
I think we're going to fight.
What are we going to fight over?
Luke and Kristen.
No, I want to talk about this. This
okay,
is the other thing I need to talk about.
Okay, good. Because I have very, very hot, sweaty pit feelings about it. Very upsetting.
I mean, I don't think, do you think I'm going to be on Luke's side?
Yes. No. Okay, thank God. Phew. I was going to say,
I'm so disgusted.
Let me get out my Excel spreadsheet about why you personally and what you've gone through with your pregnancy and your twins, why you shouldn't be on Luke's side.
No, 100% I am not on Luke's side.
Thank God.
For several reasons. Let's start first and foremost. This poster that I have behind me.
Yes.
Luke is wearing this interview outfit again. He is purposely looking exactly like Tintin, but now he's got this like Gen Z mini mullet that they're all doing.
Fuck, so gross.
First of all,
yuck.
He's not Gen Z. He's not even Robert Pattinson Gen Z. He's in his 30s. No, stop it.
Old.
2, then he's talking to Jesse about it. He's talking to Jesse. And he's like, yeah, there's no intimacy. And Jesse's like, yeah, I wish I really would have addressed it rather than getting resentful. Fuck you, Jesse. Luke, fuck you. Luke's like, yeah, I've been trying to get her to go out so that I could go out. I went out last night. You have, what is the baby, like 2-3 months old at this point?
Yeah.
I don't remember. And look, I shouldn't have to qualify, but I will qualify. Yeah. I had twins. So it was double. Yeah. It literally was double. If you have kids, you don't get to go out anymore. You don't get to. That's not it. You don't
get to bathe yourself. Bathe yourself. You are lucky if you change your clothes in the same day. Lucky.
On coffee and dry shampoo.
Yeah.
And baby wipes.
In the same outfit.
That's how I survived.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not putting on a bra. It's a sweatshirt kind of day.
And for these men to think that, okay, the doctor said we can now have sex. I want to have sex. That is just, I don't understand that. It's so disgusting to me. She pushed out a human being the size of a watermelon through a hole of the size of a pin. I mean, her body, a woman's body is completely wrecked. totally wrecked on the inside, on the outside, not to mention tearing, ripping, the doctor cutting you from end to get the baby out.
Oof. Yeah.
Or having a C-section.
I read about
Literally,
that. I had a C-section.
I had that. My doctor did an episiotomy on me. He said, I'm sorry, I have to cut you.
That's fucking terrifying.
He cut me open and there's no numbing. There's no epidural. There's none of that shit. They just take a razor and slice you open to get the baby to come out. And now you want to have something put back up in there. And even Kristen said sex had made me get pregnant. I'm nowhere near wanting to have sex. Like, that is a visceral physical reaction that a woman has. They want to vomit thinking about having sex after having a baby. And men don't get it.
Even like I had a C-section. So I just like they cut. It's a major surgery.
Yes, they cut through muscle.
It takes a long time to recover from that.
Yes.
Matt was wonderful. I don't think Matt asked me for anything until I was asking him for something. Like that was never a thing. Also, I don't remember the first year, really. 2 years, maybe.
Right.
So in the first 3 months, Luke is like, I want to go out. Luke is in his 30s. Luke is not 16 and pregnant.
No.
Where you go, these kids are so fucking dumb. His brain is done growing. He sucks. I had higher hopes for him, but in this group, maybe he would have been different if they had gone to Colorado and he didn't have the opportunity to go out. But he does want to be one of those guys that goes out. And she's like, I went to the grocery store and it was too much.
Right.
I 100% remember that. I 100% remember.
It takes hours to get the baby ready and yourself ready to literally go out the door 5 seconds away from your home to go to the grocery store or the gas station. It is so much work. You're so tired. You're smelly. You're hungry. You don't feel good. And you've got this baby that needs you 24/7. This baby doesn't sleep at nighttime.
No, and then suddenly you're unsafe. Suddenly you're in public and you have to be in a car. Have you seen how other people drive? And you're terrified when you're driving. And then you have to be out and about and people are like, somebody sneezed. And this is before COVID for me. Yeah. Somebody sneezed. I'm like, get the fucking newborn. But I have to be here. I have to get groceries.
Yeah. Or people want to just reach down and touch your baby, strangers.
Children.
Yep.
I had a woman stick her finger in my son's mouth. Stranger. She's like, oh, look at him. You stick him. I was like, what are you doing?
No.
People are insane. And that time is so awful. And then she's also like, she doesn't, even if she's healed, right? Yeah. Even if physically she's like gotten the green light from the doctor, she doesn't feel good about her body.
Right.
And then his response was like, I love that your ass is fat now.
Oh my God.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep.
Which all I heard was like, so you weren't as into it before, you preferred this. So what's going to happen if I get myself back to a body that I prefer? It's going to be one that you don't prefer. Right. That's going to be like a whole other thing because I'm already trying to find myself as a woman again.
Yeah.
Luke sucks. I'm so disappointed in Luke. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. And a lot of women, I did this, a lot of women lose themselves, lose their own autonomy when they become a mom because it's all about the kids, right? We're feeding them and we're bathing them and we're making their doctor's appointments and taking them to school and picking them up. That your entire person is encapsulated in providing for your children. And then someone asks you.
All of your needs are secondary.
Correct. Someone asks you like, well, what do you want? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite meal? And you're like, I don't know. I just eat whatever my kids don't eat. I don't have a favorite meal. Well, I did have a favorite meal before I was a mom. What the hell was that? And I can see Kristen, Nia, both, all of that, right? Going down that road. I went down that road and it is so hard. It is so hard. But society doesn't give a fuck. They don't care about us. They don't care that we lose it. No.
And why aren't you going out with your girlfriends? That's what you need. You need self-care. You should be going out. Even your self-care is judged. When it's like, I want to sit on the couch and not move.
Yep.
I need to not move. I need no one to touch me for a minute.
Yep.
I need to just no one touch me or talk to me or look at me.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want quiet. I would like a quiet house for 20 minutes. That's what I want. And
Right.
they're like, why aren't you going out with your friends? You're isolating. Somebody was like, 3 months. I think Nia said it. She was like, 3 months. You guys need a date night.
Okay. Right.
What?
Right?
And
No,
that was, yeah. Nia's indoctrinated
to have to go to your husband and use the term, will you babysit your own children, is an affront to me, because this is a parent. You created this child. You are not babysitting. You are not a stranger. You are staying home and providing, and I'm leaving. Like, can we change the verbiage? And it's so hard to look at your partner and go, will you babysit? Like you're a stranger that you're calling, right, on an internet web ad going, I need someone to watch my kids, but it's the father of these children. But that's demeaning and really hard to do also when you're like, oh, I guess I could go out. I guess he has to babysit. No. Do your job.
Jesse's talking about going out on his own, and he's like, yeah, I want to go out tonight. But if I can't find one of the 6 nannies I have on call, if they're not available, what am I going to do? Stay home with your fucking kid.
Stay home with your kid, dickhead. Right.
Stay home.
Right.
Stay home, Luke.
Right.
She doesn't need to go out. You don't need to go out.
Right.
You have a baby.
Right.
Like, life is at home right now.
Yeah.
It's so, these men who Luke really wanted a baby. I mean, Kristen really wanted a baby, but she's there doing it.
Yeah.
Danny really wants a baby. Now he wants a 5th baby.
Oh my
maybe?
God. What? Hello, sir? No.
The boys were like, we had hit their first birthday. It was slightly after their first birthday. And I said something to Matt about it. I was like, you have to get a vasectomy. Like, I don't want another kid. I don't want to go through this again.
Can't do this.
And they wouldn't, I was pregnant. And I was like, by the way, I'm having twins. We've already decided I'm only not even 12 weeks into this. I already know I'm getting a C-section because I have 2 babies. It's high risk. We're going to do that. So while you're in there, just tie off whatever, cut whatever you need to out. I'm definitely not doing this again. And they were like,
no,
you don't know that. You don't really know. I was 27. I wasn't 20. I was 27. They're like, you don't know that. And I was like, I do actually know that. I definitely. And she's like, no. And then.
And they wouldn't do it, would they?
No, I didn't get it done.
No,
wouldn't do it. And I don't have a great reaction to birth control. IUD, tried to get an IUD, couldn't. I have too much scar tissue. TMI, guys, sorry.
Yeah.
I had too much scar. I'm not a loud person. I can handle pain. I was screaming and crying. I was like, I can't. It was too much. Couldn't get an IUD. And I was like, Matt, you have to get a vasectomy. And Matt was like, yeah. And he wasn't like saying no, but he wasn't excited. And then I finally was like, I'm not joking. Like, this isn't like at some point do this. Like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't have another baby. I can't be pregnant again. Pregnancy, I was on bed rest for 111 days. We're still in that time of the year, by the way. It's the season of bed rest. I'm not doing it again. I can't. And Matt was like, well, what if for some reason you and I end up divorced and I get remarried and my new wife wants to have a baby? And I was like, are you literally asking me to take your hypothetical new wife's wants and needs and
into
put
consideration
those before my own here? No. And Matt was like, oh, that's horrifying. And then we got it done. I actually got to go to the appointment with him and I got to watch the whole thing. And the doctor, so he's like all numbed up and he swears that he could feel it. But the doctor and I were like, no, you. And then he's like, do you want to watch this? And I was like, yes, I want to see exactly what you're doing. I think I could have watched my C-section. The doctor was like, no, you can't. You're not going to be able to handle it. And I was like, I think I could. Like, I understand the logic of it. I think I could watch it. And they would not let me watch it. And then, but I did get to watch Matt's vasectomy. And then he was like, so I take this and this is the such and such. I don't remember all the words.
Yeah. Mass deference. Yep.
And he like pulls it out and he like holds it up and clamps it and burns it and cauterizes it. And then it just goes right back in. And it looks like a tangle of like bean sprouts that you get in like in pho. Yeah. That's what it looks like. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, do more. And he was like, okay. And he did more. And Matt's like, I can feel that. And we're like, no, you can't.
Quiet.
Matt
If
is fine in like an hour.
100%. But when they do that for a woman, no, it is not an easy, I'm going to make this incision, cut something, and then sew you back up. And the incision is, less than an inch long. No. A woman we're going to scoop out things, and it's bad. Just not fair in my mind, but whatever. Yeah, Luke sucks, and I don't like him.
Sucks.
And any man that thinks he is owed something like that makes me sick.
No, he might get resentful because
that makes me sick. So it's her fault. Thank you. Okay.
It's her fault.
No.
If she's not in that place, you don't go, fuck her for not being in that place. Like, why doesn't she want to have sex with me? You go, what would help her get to that place?
Right.
How can I
There's all kinds
her
of
and
sexual intimacy. There's sexual touching. There's even a fucking hug. Like, you can hold hands. We do not have to have penetration.
No.
I don't understand.
You could also be available. You could also let her shower. You could also make sure. And I think that he's a pretty hands-on dad, but he also went out last night. So
and made her stay home to babysit, right? Again, now she's home alone. And he made a wisecrack about, well, Kristen never wants me to leave. Right. She never wants you to leave. Think about that. She would like some emotional, physical, mental support so she can look at him and go, I can't do this. Please help me. Or look at him and go, can you give me a hug because I'm in tears? Right? Yeah. Of course she doesn't want to be by herself. Have you ever thought about it? She doesn't know what she's doing. We don't know what we're doing because we, birthed this child, or this child lived in us for 9 months. Doesn't mean that we know what we're doing. We're scared. It's scary.
Oh, and I feel like you look at her and you go, she is completely overwhelmed right now.
Yes.
She's feeling frazzled. We're not in a fight about Luke.
Yay!
We're in full agreement. Yay! I want to fight about, I don't even know if we're going to fight about this. I want to fight about, also he said, like, what are the things that change once you have a kid? And he said that he feels like less grossed out by poop and vomit, and bodily fluids.
Yeah.
That never happened for me.
I know.
Nope.
It happened for me. I'm good, but that's so cute.
I was like, dirty diapers.
Right.
I cleaned dirty diarrhea diapers. I did.
Sure. Yeah.
But if Matt was home, Matt was going to do it. If somebody, to this day, one of my sons has a very sensitive gag reflex. He didn't puke once at your house, though, did he?
He did not.
We kept him in check. It's much rarer now. That's not true. It happened last week. But it only happened once last week. But like, there's a lot of vomit cleanup that has to happen.
Right.
And we have cats. So they're throwing up hairballs and
No, I was good. I was one of those moms that, would look at my daughter and go, is that chocolate or poop on your shirt? And then you're like, that's chocolate. We're good. I'm fine.
Let me smell it.
No big deal. I'm not afraid.
I do want to talk about Danny and Nia.
Okay.
Moving. And they're in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this based on mostly the little bits that they're showing of like later on in this season of the Valley.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because I thought maybe I missed something.
No.
Oh, okay.
It seems like Nia regrets the Santa Clarita house.
Well,
I think she was like, this amount of space is going to be incredible for our family. And oh my God, we can have a pool. And oh my God.
Yeah.
We get all this space for our kids to run around and everyone has their own room. And then it's like, but the reality of their day to day and her work and his work. And like, she almost had the baby in the car because she had to drive an hour and a half to get to
and for her to meet up even with Kristen, right? She has to drive an hour plus just to have a 10-minute breakfast with Kristen, where that, I don't know.
They're so far away from their support system.
Yeah.
When they have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not that bad. And he loves it. And she's like, this is my nightmare.
Yeah.
she's talking about how she feels really burnt out. So I think it is hard to say, like, do you want to be in a really cramped space? Or do you want to have an hour to 2 hour commute occasionally? Not occasionally, on a regular basis.
Like, yeah.
And that's like, it really is like 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Sure.
And how could she really have known until she experienced it? But Danny is like, we should have another kid. And she's like, I'm burnt out. I'm really worried for Nia.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Danny is another Luke where I think that he has good intentions, but he doesn't realize how selfish and self-centered he is. He's
No,
like,
I agree.
He's like, I stayed up with the babies. I feed the kids. I change so many diapers. And you're like, okay, but are you actually like attuned to your spouse's needs as well? Are you seeing that she's floundering?
Right.
And at some point he's really, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to, I was so uncomfortable just with the, 15 seconds of her going, I feel really self-conscious and I feel like you're criticizing me and it's making me really upset. And he goes, no, it's not. And it was like, oh
boy. Yeah. I don't know.
And he's talking about a 5th kid. The 5th kid part is freaking me out. We have amazing neighbors and they have the same house layout that we do and they have 5 kids. And we have 2 kids and I'm like, we are bursting at the seams here. And I know that I have shit everywhere, but the rest of our house doesn't look like this. It's the office. But they have 5 kids and I go, how does that work? How does that work? And they're incredible parents and really good people. And I know that they're doing a great job. I just know that I'm not capable of that. And I also look at Danny and I'm like, Danny.
Right. Yeah.
So.
No, I agree.
Gross. Hate it. I'm just trying to double check. Tom. We didn't talk about Tom. There's really nothing to say about Tom. There's nothing new to say about Tom. Tom is himself. Tom's like, I'm a new, better version. And Zach's like, you're thriving now, not just surviving. And thank God you're away from the bars. And now you've like reset yourself. And he's like, I lost so much money, but I feel like I learned so much. And now I'm like, I've got my sparkle back.
I'm not a Schwartz fan. And I know you guys are Schwartz fans. And I'm just not. Oh, okay.
I mean, I do find him charming. I just think he can't.
Shitty. He is shitty. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like him on the show. Right, I'll watch it, but yeah, he doesn't add
He's one of these guys that is like,
to me.
Let's bring it back to last week. He's like the male version of a bimbo, right?
Yeah.
He's like, it's so cute. I don't know what's going on. I didn't get it. I wasn't really listening because I was upset, but I do know that one of the reasons she didn't like it is because I was bad at listening, so I can't ask her. And it's like, so you don't know why you got divorced. You just know that you weren't listening and she doesn't like that. So you don't know. Gross.
No, I can't.
Not exciting. I feel like I enjoy him. This is the same as like Janet. I'm going to enjoy because I think she's good on the show. I don't like her.
Yeah.
I think he's charming on the show. I don't find him redeemable. Like, I don't think it balances out. I don't think he's, granted, right now, at least he's only shorting himself in all of this. Him flirting with Michelle. I know this is like nothing, but like that weird interaction of like them.
I had weird flashes of him flirting with Raquel and was it Sheena? Did he make out with Sheena? Like I had weird, was it? Who was it? It was Raquel.
Did back in the day, but it was Raquel. It was Raquel.
And I was just like, this is grossing me out. I can't watch him do that with her.
And Michelle was like, well, what's your type? And he's like, I don't really have a type. I think it's just like chemistry.
Oh,
and I was like, this is stripper behavior.
Gross.
This is like if you go into a strip club, if you're a man and you go into a strip club.
He's like 45. I'm Googling it right now.
That's the thing. He's a grown 40-plus-year-old man. And he's behaving like...
He's 43. No.
And he was behaving like a ditzy stripper.
Yeah.
He's saying nothing of substance.
Right.
I mean,
No, thank you.
I 100% believe that he's fun at parties. I would love to go to Tom Tom when he's there hosting. I know that he like hosts a lot. I think that would be really fun to do sometime.
Sure.
But I think he's probably fun at parties. I don't think he has any substance to him. I think and I'm not saying that as like he's not capable of it. I'm saying like that is a choice that he's making for himself.
No, agree.
He's actively choosing to be this like Playboy bunny personality of a man. I'm like, what? Give us more.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's all surface, and it's like he's like a giggle and a eat, pray, love. We have chemistry, and you're like, what?
Ew, no.
So I think it was Kristen that was like, Michelle is a fine wine.
Oh my God, right?
I don't remember what Schwartz
I
was,
wrote it down. She said Schwartz was like a bro. Oh my gosh, man. Where'd it go? I wrote it down anyway.
I don't remember. It was like a 6-pack of beer or something. I don't.
Yeah.
It was something.
Tom is a Jaeger bomb at a sports bar.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, well, they're both cookie. It's like, no.
Yeah, good.
But am I going to watch this season? Yes. I look forward to this season. Oh, I also wanted to bitch about Brittany.
Of course.
Brittany and her new boyfriend. And Zach has the exact same feelings about it that I have. So I'm glad Brittany, and it's not her boyfriend officially yet, but he's already said I love you. And they went on a 5-day trip to Cabo.
And he's got BDE. Gross. Brittany, stop. We don't. If he's not your boyfriend, how do you know that he has BDE? So just.
Well, he slept in the guest room when he came to visit, but she slept in the bed with him.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Ugh. I know.
But she's jumping in to fill in that relationship hole like immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like, just take a little break. Even Schwartz was like, you need to master dater yourself.
Yeah.
And you should. I think she needs some time to be Brittany on her own. And I know that her self-confidence was in the toilet. I think it's better now. I think you just need time.
But I think a lot of it is wrapped up in a man. Like, she feels so great when a man treats her correctly. Instead of, she should feel great when she treats herself correctly, right? Doing all the things she likes to do, eating the food she likes to eat, going on trips she wants to go on, spending time with her son, like doing things that make her happy instead of a man making her happy.
She's doing that, but she needs a man there still. So I think she's still eating all the foods. I think she's doing all the things. She's doing a great job of taking care of Cruz. But I think she's also making sure that there's a man with her when she's doing it, because she doesn't feel fulfilled unless there's a guy next to her.
Oh, that's so sad.
Which is such a bummer. And I love that, like, she's gotten away from Jax and everything feels better. So she's like, look at all this growth. And we're like, no. You were just better without Jax. You haven't done the growth part yet.
Yeah.
And Zach is like, why are your alarm bells not going off yet?
Yeah.
Why are you not nervous or cautious about this? And I think that's how I agree with Zach. I agree with Zach 100%. And Zach looks great. And his hair looks better this season.
Yeah.
So good job, Zach. And not Michelle. What's her face is getting married?
Jasmine.
I feel like Jasmine is so friend out. Maybe we'll get more of her this season.
I don't know. There's just way too many people in this cast.
And I don't really enjoy weddings.
Ugh.
I don't enjoy a show with a wedding.
No.
Sheena Shee's weddings were obnoxious and not fun.
And you said weddings, just so everybody's clear. Weddings.
I'm on my helling journey. Okay, so that was a lot of weddings. Should we talk about a lot of divorces?
Yes, we should. And here's the thing with, like, Kyle and Janet. See, Janet, I hate Janet. I will watch her. I don't get a visceral reaction. Kyle, I don't want to see ever again. I don't want her on my TV. She makes my stomach hurt. I cannot stand her. I don't want anything to do with Kyle anymore. I'm over it. So I think that says something about how long she's been on the show. and whatever she's doing right now. Even Brandi Glanville came out and said Kyle is producing herself on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Brandi.
Brandi. Well, and the thing about it is that you and I also have like a long love of Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle was my favorite forever. And this season has been so rough to watch. And I think, again, it is a lot of retroactively and through the group, through talking to everyone, she's trying to get the support to put herself in the right. And the end of this, or the beginning of this episode is them at the table. And I almost thought that this whole episode was just going to be the end of the table, because then they're all flying. At the end of it, they fly back from Italy and everyone's doing I thought this trip, like doing voiceovers. Like, Heather gave voiceover of like, I thought this trip was going to bring us all together, but now the fractures are greater than ever, whatever it was. And everyone's kind of talking about it as they're showing the montage of them going home. And I was like, is this the end of the episode? Holy shit. There was a lot that happened, and that could have been the end of the episode. But then there was more. In general, the main points are like, is this, in my opinion, is this Kyle is talking behind her back and trying to rally everyone against Dorit and trying to make Dorit look bad? Or if you're Kyle, you're saying Dorit is just trying to make Kyle look bad, and nothing Kyle does is ever going to be right. My opinion is Dorit, the friction between Dorit and Kyle, they're never going to hear the other person's point of view and feel like it's valid. Like it's just gone too far. They're just not going to be there.
I agree.
They keep trying to pretend they're friends, but it's really not actually mended. And that sucks. And I feel like Kyle has valid points. Everyone has been irritated that Dorit is late. But to make this and everyone's saying, yeah, I was irritated that she was late. Rachel's was like, yeah, I was really, and I told her. And Boz had pointed out, yeah, you're being really late. Erika's pissed because it's ruining like their schedule and it's giving her anxiety. She's like, you're late and I don't like it. And then Kyle's like, see, everyone thinks you're being bad. It's not that. It's Kyle's turning it into this giant, like, Dorit is a shitty person. Dorit is pointing out very specifically what she's not okay with. Dorit is in the wrong for being late. Dorit is in the wrong for not checking in on Erika. Dorit is in the wrong for kind of how she's been spending, possibly. Like, her spending is not necessarily in the wrong, but that is a concern. That's a valid concern to be like, what is your financial situation? Are you cool to be getting this Kelly bag? But you go like, what's going on? And then that's the end of it, because she's an adult and not your child, and you don't get to have a say in what they're doing. And I think that, like, in my opinion, Kyle took valid concerns, valid issues of contention, and tried to spin them into making Dorit a villain for some reason. And it's just made everything so much worse. I don't know. How did you feel about that dinner?
These are my feelings. Here it is. There is a huge difference between a friend going to another friend, like Kyle and Boz talking on FaceTime when they were in the Hamptons about Dorit. And then either one of them, Kyle or Boz, goes to Dorit about that conversation. There is a difference between that and what Kyle did, which is go to every single person in that friend group, say the exact same shitty thing about Dorit to every single person in that friend group, and never go to Dorit. That is gossiping. That is mean girl shit. And there is a huge difference. If someone I found out was talking, two friends were talking about me, and one of them came to me, that's not gossip. That is two friends expressing concerns about me in some way, and one of them bringing it to me, and then we have a discussion about it. Kyle is not concerned with Dorit. Kyle's concerns, in my view, are not valid. I don't agree when Sutton says, yeah, this is divorce behavior, spending and being reckless, and and acting out and screaming and yelling at everybody. I'm sorry, I am a divorced person. I did not do any of those things. And I'm not saying that Dorit is doing something wrong. What I'm saying is it is wrong for you as a person talking outside of the relationship. She's not Dorit. She's not in their marriage, Sutton, and cannot look at her and go, oh, she bought a Kelly bag because of her divorce. Dorit bought a Kelly bag because she has enough money to do it. And who are you to say whether she's allowed to do that with her own GD money or not? You're not. You're not allowed to judge her for her behavior right now. What you're allowed to do is go to her and say, I am here for you. Do you need to talk to me? Do you need to go out? Do we need to get dinner? Do you need a book? Whatever. Those are the things you're allowed to do. Dorit is a late person. That is part of her personality. I will die on this hill. That is just what she does. If they don't like it, they should not be friends with her. It doesn't matter to me. I'm sorry, it doesn't. If I'm friends with Dorit and I know she's an hour late, then I schedule my life around that. And that is something I choose to do to be a friend with Dorit. If I don't want to have that choice, I'm not going to be a friend to her. So people to yell and scream at her because she's a late person is not fair. It is her personality. That's just who she is. My ex-husband's family, that entire family was late family. Sure. We had to tell them at least 2 to 3 hours ahead of time what the real time for Easter dinner was. If Easter dinner was at 3, I had to tell her Easter dinner was at 1. So she would be there at 3. That's how I worked around my life with that ex-husband's family. There are people who are just
sounds
like
fucking
that.
Exhausting.
It is exhausting.
I think that you go worth what's the energy that
Sure.
I'm willing to put towards
But
this?
that's your choice as that
Right.
friend. You don't get to gossip about her behind her back and go, she's shitty, she's late, she shouldn't be spending all this time.
To turn it into this whole, like, I mean, is it a character flaw? Maybe, but you can accept, no one's perfect. You can accept there are good and bad about everyone that you love. And I think as a late person, myself, I'm a late person. I worked really hard on being less late. Dorit could work on being less late and being more respectful of other people's times. However, if she's going to continue to be late, the people who are dealing with her go, hey, I need you here at this time. If you are not here, we are going to go without you. Like, you're late.
Sure.
Sometimes here's what it is. Here's where we're at.
Yep.
Erika being direct, being like, you need to get down here now because there's a surprise that's happening. There is time to this. If it's at our house and it's like, all right, I want to have Easter breakfast at 3, so I'm just going to tell her when, because I know that she's going to end up at 3, and everyone's like casually at the house, then like we can deal with that. But if it's like, we're going to this show, the flight is leaving, the tour starts at this time, if you're not here, we're doing it without you. And I think make people responsible for themselves in that. However, Dorit's in like a shit time, and so you go, okay, I can take over some of this. I can't take over some of this. And then you do or you don't, and that's on you. But Kyle wants everyone to be like, Dorit's a piece of shit. She's always late. She's disrespectful, and now I'm mad at her.
Right.
Even Rachel Zoe. God, Rachel Zoe is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rachel Zoe. Rachel Zoe's like, I told her I don't appreciate that she was late, but I also see that that's who she is as a person. I haven't seen her outside of this, so I just assume that's who she is.
Right.
Pretty sure that's who she is. And yeah, it's
but no one accepts
everyone had
that.
the conversation directly with her or not.
Kyle and Dorit have been friends for whatever 10 years now or 15 years or whatever it's been. And Kyle knows that Dorit is a late person. That is just who she is. And it's just, I mean, like I said, you either make a choice to work around that late person and you be that friend, or you're not. Or you're not. You're just not friends with that person, or you're not. That person is not in your life. And also, when I got divorced, I did stand up for myself. I did say, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is what I'm going to deal with. And this is what I'm not going to deal with. And that's how Dorit is handling herself right now. She was, I think, people pleasing to some degree in her marriage or in her friendships before. She has learned that that is not how it's going to happen anymore. And she has learned this is what I want and this is what I don't want. But then they twist it and make it out that it's something bad. It is not bad to know yourself, stand up for yourself and go, I'm not doing this. I'm not staying in this conversation anymore because I'm leaving because I'm protecting myself. But no, it's divorce behavior when she gets up and walks away. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm tired of listening to that. As a person who is divorced, because you do that, it should not be weaponized against you. And again, a divorced person, I did not go out and blow all my money just because I'm divorced. It doesn't work like that. And for you to judge me on anything that I'm buying, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And I don't agree with that
I think that
at all.
Generally, I think there's so much scrutiny on moms that are getting divorced and what they're doing with their finances.
100%.
Because then it turns into, well, what is she spending the child support on?
Right.
She has her nails done. She got her hair done.
Right.
What is she's just wasting the money on that. And it's like, that is not at all how that works.
And they never said that about the father or the husband in that relationship, not even once. He's going around buying whatever he's buying.
He just got his new car.
Right? Nobody cares.
Now, with his new gaming system and his big TV, and he's going out all the time.
Right.
And they're like, well, he's single now. I mean, no one's doing that.
Right. And Erika needs to take a step back for a second, because I think we talked about this before. She is not sharing her personal life at all. And whether it's in the tabloids or not, you're on a television show where everybody is sharing their life. And for her to look at Dorit and go, you never called me when I'm having a problem, and Kyle to back her up and go, it's been on the tabloids. Why didn't you call her? No, we're on a show, Erika. You don't get a pass to not share your life. Nobody knew that you had this boyfriend. I don't think it's fair for Erika to get mad at Dorit when Dorit says you need to come and bring these things to me, or you need to support me, or whatever it is that they're talking about, and Erika to not do any of that. But she's mad at Dorit for doing it? That's not fair at all. I think that's a bunch of horse shit.
I'm of a different viewpoint on that. I feel like Erika is talking about it on the show. She's just not talking about it with all the women. She talked about it with her therapist. She talked about it with Sutton and Denise. I think that because it is in the news, I think it's on all of them to be reaching out to each other when they see it in the news, right? I'm getting extreme in this example here, but like Mary Cosby's son died. I think it's every single one of those women needs to be reaching out. I think when they see another thing, when Rachel Zoe's divorce pops up in the news, I think it's everyone's job to go, hey, I saw this. How's it? Like, I think that it would be nice if they could have the back and forth, but if they are really that close, why isn't Dorit seeing something in the news and going, oh my God? And I will also back Erika up on the boyfriend thing, because that was their second date. She was like, nobody knew. She hadn't decided if this was a thing or not yet, so she hadn't told anybody. Is what she said. So I believe.
I just don't think it's fair that she gets all these outs and she gets all these loopholes where Dorit gets zero. Dorit gets zero loopholes. Zero. They all come at her for everything.
I think Kyle is coming down on Dorit way harder than it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, and last season, Kyle was crying all the time and felt attacked all the time. But everyone was checking on her constantly.
And nobody's allowed to talk about Morgan and her lesbianic relationship that she has.
Right?
I mean, it's a double standard also. What do you mean we're not allowed to say her name? Are you kidding me? You want to talk about buying a $10,000 bag? You are in a lesbian relationship. That does not even equate closely to buying a bag, ma'am. Not even close.
There's a lot of weird... I mean, Kyle has a lot of like double standards for every single person. And then she's shocked when everyone's like, it's a little much, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle is a dog with a bone, and no one's going to, I think she looks bad. And then she sits there. What is it called? We learned this phrase in Salt Lake. It's reactive abuse.
Yes.
At this point, when at the very end, it's like, you want to turn everyone against me? Everyone wants to be mad at me right now. fine, I'm the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I don't give a shit. I'm not participating. That's reactive abuse because at this point it was like, Kyle's just sat there.
Yeah.
Just because she wants to look better or something like, or she's self-producing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm also over Kyle and her nonsense. I don't think she's bringing anything interesting to any of this. I think the most interesting thing that she has done this season is when she went back to her old house, to Amanda's house now, and had the like honest reaction of experiencing that. I also had so much fun watching her have fun with Rachel, Zoe, and Dorit in the Hamptons. And then every other part of her this season, I find her obnoxious and exhausting.
Yep. No, I agree.
I did write down accusation, gossip, judgment versus concern and feedback. Like,
for sure.
Kyle's pretending that she's bringing concern and feedback, but really it's the accusation. And I think half of that came from Boz. I'm just repeating what Boz said.
No, and Rachel Zoe said that too. When you say everyone at the table feels like that, it does feel like accusation and judgment versus I'm worried about you, right? Or whatever.
Right. It's Kyle's going, fix your behavior.
Right.
Not like, hey, I love you. You're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
Which is different.
Agreed.
So, okay. I want to talk about Rachel Zoe really quick.
Okay.
When she goes shopping with her son.
Yeah.
I love Rachel Zoe. I love her parenting. I love her sons. These are two wildly privileged kids.
Oh my gosh.
They are so cool. They're so cute. And they just seem like good people.
Yeah.
I think that she's doing an excellent job. So she took her son shopping. Sky, he's the older one.
And I love that she wants him to have a job because I think that is
about.
Hugely important because that's something I will die on this hill. You as a parent, mother, father, whatever, you cannot show your child what the real world is like unless they go out and get that job. And understand that, the public sucks. Not everybody's going to like you. You know, you might have a boss that doesn't like you. You might have someone that treats you differently. I could say that 1,700 times to my daughter, but she's going to go, okay, and walk away until she experiences it at a job, right?
Yeah, and having an understanding of a work ethic.
Yes.
You're going to do this, and you're going to do it for the next 6 to 8 hours, and it sucks.
Yep.
And when you're done, you're going to go, this is all I got.
Yep.
And you're going to appreciate, and you're going to think about it before you spend it next time.
Right.
Sam and Henry do chores around the house. And then Sam also got offered a job in our neighborhood. He like weeds out the front entrances. Like there's the front entrances of the neighborhoods. They're all landscaped, but they have to be weeded out. And it gets really bad here in Florida in the summer. And they pay him $50 in the summer months.
Wow.
And then like he does it like every few months when it's like not the growing season. No, I hate it because then he's like, I don't want to do extra chores right now for extra money. If I give it another week, I'm going to go, I'll get $50 from this. But no, it's actually awesome because when he's a collector, he's like his dad. He wants to get all the cool toys. He wants to do
I get that.
the Thrill Joy blind box stuff. And it's expensive. These toys that when we were kids, toys were like $10 for an action figure or a Barbie. Now they're like 40 to 60 to 80.
Yeah.
Because I love my husband. It's the men his age that are continuing to buying all the toys.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. When my daughter, got her job and before she got her job, right, she was wanting, $100 Miss Me brand jeans. She got her job and I said, you can buy all the jeans you want. And she wouldn't do it. She was like, do you know how hard I had to work for this $100? I'm not spending it on a pair of jeans. And I'm like, I love you right now.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Sam's like, Sam he's trying to earn like $130. And he's like, okay, are you guys doing more yard work this weekend? How many times do I have to sweep up? What can I do around the house to earn $10 like right now? And it's like, okay, like I do really like that mentality.
Yeah.
So, and she's doing that. She's like, he's 15, 14,
14.
He's going to start interning at this like clothing store that he loves.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, and he's so cute and he's
Yeah.
trying to be so cool to these guys.
Yeah.
And he is though. And then he's like trying on the clothes and he's such the son of Rachel Zoe. Like, can you imagine if Rachel Zoe had girls? Right?
My Lord,
But like,
yeah.
she's doing all of the things. She's like, oh, this is a look. Check this out. Oh my God, I love this. And he's trying stuff on and he tries on these shorts and he's like, Mom, I could wear these in St. Bart's. Like, these are very cool. Can you
No.
imagine being 14 years
Right.
old and being like, these are my St. Bart's shorts.
He
Like,
just
this
got back
fits
from
the vibe of it.
France. And she's like, you didn't spend any money in France. I'm like, I never said that sentence ever. Like, what?
But
You just,
also did buy her an Hermes bracelet.
but I mean, yeah, anyway.
But she acknowledges that he's very privileged, but how important it is for her to instill that work ethic in her.
Yeah.
I think she's great. I just love it. Then things that happened, Bo's going house shopping.
Yes.
With Keeley and her
Yes.
daughter. I love Boz so much. I want her to get everything that she wants.
Yes.
I am leery of Keeley.
Yes.
I know that Boz is going to be smart and I know that she's going to get a really good prenup, but I'm like nervous
Yes.
about Keeley. And then at the very end, when they like take the selfie.
Yes.
And then Bo's like, oh, is that weird for you with her daughter and Keeley? And she takes the picture and she's like, is that weird for you that we're like kissing and you're like standing there in the picture? And the daughter's like, I'm getting used to it. And I just had this moment of like, I think that the daughter loves her mom and respects her mom and trusts her mom and is like, this guy makes my mom happy. I don't know that her daughter is totally bought in on Keeley.
Yeah.
Did you get that
I think
vibe?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
That's what weird about.
And P.S. They looked at a home that's 5,500 square feet, and it was $5.7 million for 5,500 square feet. $5 million. That's over $1,000 per square foot. That's a lot of money, homie. I don't
LA,
know.
baby.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else before we get into Studio 54.
Dorit just had her photo shoot thing.
Yeah, the photo shoot thing. The beginning was rough.
Yeah.
The photos did not look good. And then when
Yeah.
she had like, I love that Rachel Zoe came. I love that Boz came and
My
like
God,
hyped her up.
yes.
Because it
Yes.
needed to happen because it was not working.
Yes.
And I like that. I think, again, I think Rachel Zoe, I love Boz. I think she's a queen. I feel like Boz and Rachel Zoe are seeing through the Kyle bullshit.
Yeah.
Also, I need to go backwards because of Boz. Boz at the table
Yes.
at the last dinner in Italy.
Yes.
I feel like Boz before was kind of like along for the ride with the Kyle Dorit drama. And then she clocked better than anyone else how real this is, like the point of no return between Dorit and Kyle was.
Yes.
And she's watching it happen. I think her heart, she was like, listen, she was even on Kyle's side for part of that back and forth where she's like, I think Kyle has genuine concern and genuine care for you. I think it's coming from a good place. I think she's just not acting it out correctly. And then when Dorit leaves and she's like, Kyle, did you really mean that though? Like, and I think that she was saying it as a real friend to both Dorit and Kyle in that moment. I think that Boz was, because Boz could have easily just jumped on Dorit's side and been like, shut the fuck up, Kyle, you're being an asshole. But instead, she was trying to mediate, and I think she did a really good job. I think that she did her best. And also, my favorite part of the episode was when they're sitting there and Erika had started crying. Because Erika, I think, is honestly like, I'm pissed off at Dorit, but I don't think she thought that it was like, this is not going to be able to get turned around.
Yeah.
I think both Dorit and Erika were not expecting this to involve them to this extent. And I think Erika was like, oh, fuck. And so when she started crying, and then Rachel Zoe leans into Boz and goes, I know it was a superficial. She looks super good.
Who was she talking about?
And Boz,
She who?
she was talking about
Dorit?
Erika. No, Erika's got like the tears coming down. She looked she's a beautiful crier. Not
Okay.
everyone is. Most people are not beautiful criers,
Okay.
but Erika looked incredible in that moment. Like she was like, I'm like, the tears, I look gross doing like a pretend cry. Like she looked so good and so chic. And she was right. Rachel's now going like, I know that this is superficial, but she looks so good right now. And Boz is like, okay, but we're going to give her a minute. Like this is. And she said even that, she said in this very genuine, caring way. She's like, okay, but no.
Not right now.
I just loved it. I think Boz and Rachel Zoe could become a really fantastic duo.
Oh, God, yeah.
Them
Absolutely.
together, hyping up.
Absolutely.
Dorit was so fun.
Yep.
Watching them in Italy was so fun. Like watching them, like Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not correct. But like the grapes together, and she's so like they're fun. I like them as a little friendship thing. All right, yeah. Anything else before the birthday?
I don't think so.
All right, we'll talk about the fun parts of the birthday. Everyone looked incredible. I loved it. The only person whose outfit I didn't like was Amanda's.
Oh, God, Amanda.
Like, what are you wearing?
I didn't.
What in the Francesca's was she wearing?
I didn't understand it. That pink, Barbie pink thing.
It looked like an outfit from Altered State.
It just wasn't good.
It was no good.
It was bad.
It was not on theme nearly enough.
Yeah, no, not even near on theme.
If you're going to do Studio 54, you don't do the modern farmhouse haircut. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't care for it. Like, do something.
Yeah.
And it's not like she doesn't know what kind of parties these women have.
Right.
It's really disappointing.
Yeah.
But I loved everyone's outfit.
I love that she had her kids there and that Caius was the door checker.
That's
so cute.
And then he comes out and he's talking to Erika Jane and his mom. He's eating cheese. And that whole thing was so cute. He's like, you know who you look like? I like your hair. It reminds me of Dolly Parton. And Erika Jane, that's like, she's like, I love that. Thank you. And like, because it's such a genuine compliment and it's a very good compliment to her.
Yeah.
Because, Southern women, Erika Jane's really saucy, like amazing. So great. And then Rachel's like going, are you eating manchego? Such a vibe.
Yes.
This kid walking around eating cheese and she's like, what a vibe. He's eating manchego.
I know.
Okay.
So cute.
So cute. And then we have Dorit is coming.
But first, you have the two haters. Kyle is there. Talking crap about Dorit, and Dorit's not even there.
She's not even there yet. And she's like, this is awkward. Why is it awkward, Kyle? You're at a party.
You're doing it.
And then a couple times she gets into it. It's like, yeah, enjoy the party. Kyle at a party. In the early seasons, remember when she's
white party,
yes, or at everybody's party, she's doing the splits.
Yeah.
Remember when I can't remember her name, but the now ex-husband was the piano composer who's super famous, and he now is married to a younger woman. But he was like playing the piano for everyone.
Yeah, David Foster.
And he's like playing the piano for everyone and like doing this like incredible concert.
Yeah.
And Kyle starts getting into it and singing and he's like, stop singing. Don't. And Kyle's like, ooh, like that's hilarious. That whole thing was so fun. Her and Vanderpump before everything went down the tubes. Fun Kyle is the best Kyle. And now she's this like judgy, bitchy, high maintenance.
Yep.
Also doesn't want to talk about herself. I'm done. I'm done with Kyle.
Yeah.
And I don't like her attitude. She looked incredible. But she came in with the wrong attitude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm uncomfortable here. And Rachel Zoe was like, I just want to be surrounded by my girls. This could be a love fest. I want this to be a love fest.
Yeah.
And Kyle's like, just the wrong energy to bring to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Just the wrong energy. And then Dorit, you find out has already had a bad day.
Yeah.
She's driving in with Boz.
Yeah.
They both have so many ringlets. And she's talking about how her daughter came home early from school. It was her first day at school. And her daughter had like an anxiety attack about it because she's been homeschooled for the last 5 years.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's shocking. I feel bad for a little baby.
That's a lot. So
Yeah.
this kid is dealing with a contentious divorce.
Yeah.
And also she's been homeschooled. So now she's in school and it's totally overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's a lot on that little kid.
Yeah, poor thing.
And then, I mean, I think that Dorit's doing what she can. I'm not saying that Dorit's like a bad mom, but like it's got to be hard. Like as a mom, what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she went and picked her up. And now she has to go to this party.
And see fucking Kyle and Erika, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that was mad at her before. And then Kyle makes a really chippy remark about Dorit carrying her bag. Oh, there's the infamous bag.
Even Sutton was like, the bag again?
Yeah.
Like, you need to talk about the bag again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She just spent like 10 grand on a bag. Yeah, she should be wearing it out and carrying it around.
Who cares?
Get use out of it.
Shut up. Who cares? Your husband is paying for everything, Kyle. What do you mean? She can't buy a bag with her own money that she earned, not her husband buying it, Kyle.
Has so many Birkins that she can match them to her outfits.
Yes.
Remember when she had a turquoise one to go to Arizona? Like,
yes.
Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
I was definitely super bummed about that. This season, I think has been a really good season. I think it's been a really good season of Housewives. We have strong opinions about everybody. There's been real drama. It's been slightly produced by Kyle, but then that's kind of turned into its own thing.
Yeah.
I could do with less of that. But yeah, I am interested to see where we end up when all is said and done.
Sure. For sure.
I think Dorit and Erika are still not talking to this day.
I think you are right.
That's what I heard somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is
next week we will have a conclusion of the Maui murder attempt. We'll see where we are with the Valley, and we will see, is this going to be the season finale? It should be the season finale.
I hope so. Right? My God. I hope so.
Then we'll see what else we can catch up on. You know, maybe there's another murder trial that we can fold into this. What?
They came back 30 minutes ago guilty. Thank God for that.
Correct.
Rocked as jury finds him guilty. Okay, so now I have to look it up and watch it, and we can talk about it next week.
Amazing.
So it only took them one day, which is, that's a good 8 hours that they were in there doing their thing.
They deliberated. They had a conversation. He's getting a fair trial.
They looked
at
a fair trial. Absolutely. Thank God. Ooh. So, and I don't know a lot about Hawaii's laws down there, if it's, a fixed sentence or, it's only 10 years or something. I don't know what their attempted murder. I'll look that up maybe. But I think they were pushing for life. The prosecutor was pushing for life in prison, but I don't know. And they have a standard, like every state has their own standard. So they start out at the standard and then the judge goes up from there based on what they call.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, mitigating factors. So they'll have a sentencing hearing where people will come in and boo-hoo about him and say how wonderful he is and don't give him life in prison. And then he'll...
Which, by the way, haven't we all learned not to do that?
Right, exactly.
Don't do that. Look what happened to, what was her name? The people from that 70s show.
Oh my gosh.
Don't do that. It'll ruin your career.
Yeah. Right.
Even in letter form.
Right.
They'll find it.
But I'm telling you, that man has some psychopathy going on, something evil in him. I mean, yeah, he tried to kill his wife, but speaking to him, I'm telling you, it is very eerie. It is very serial killer-ish to watch, like a deep-rooted psychopathy, something wrong with him.
Well, there's like a thing with men that are abusive and controlling.
Yeah.
Where they will often, like, it's always going to escalate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so it's really the question of, will their partner get out in time? Right? So do they escape the abuse and get away from it? Or does he eventually get violent, eventually escalate and kill her?
Yeah.
But when they're in that abuse cycle, it's interesting to me because you see it all the time. I mean, I don't know what your feed is full of, but mine's people getting arrested. Like domestic abuse body cams. Why is that on my feed? I don't know. But you see these guys who are so abusive and then they're in their house and they're screaming at their wife and then the cops break it up and they think that they're charming the police officers. And then they're speaking so insanely to their wives because they create this new reality.
Yeah. Yep.
And because they've bent their children and their wives to their will, they forget that everyone else doesn't live in this weird bubble that they've created that they're the king of.
Yep.
And you're like, when you question it, they're like, the fuck?
Yep.
Like, how dare you?
Yes.
I'm the king of this world.
Yes.
And I feel like that's like the vibes that this guy
He's
gives off.
definitely like that. That is perfect way to describe him.
Oh my God, thank you.
Look at yoga. Oh.
I've got a lot of long analogies tonight, but they're right on point. All right. Thank you. I just kicked. Sorry.
You got it. Okay.
Thank you for doing podcasts with me.
Thank you for listening for 2 hours.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah, thank you guys. And we'll be back next week.
Okay.
Barring emergencies.
Right. Sick kids, sick people, any of that.
Knock on wood. It won't happen.
No, it's going to be fine.
All right. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye.